Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to a brand new series. This is The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening. I wanted to play this game because, first of all, it's the 40th anniversary of Zelda. The series started 40 years ago this year, and I figured it was the perfect time to play a Zelda game. And in keeping kind of with the tradition that I've been doing, playing Game Boy and Game Boy Advance games, well, it's a Legend of Zelda game on the Game Boy Advance. So that's why I have picked this particular one. Now, I'm going to be giving you a little bit of trivia, background history on the game, some Easter eggs and little tidbits, like stuff like that. If you're not interested in that and you want to skip straight to the action, feel free to go to episode 1. It will be posted alongside this introductory video. I'll try to remember to put the the link in the description, but if not, it should be on the homepage of my channel. I also put these in playlists, so you can just head to the next video in the playlist. So this game was developed by Nintendo EAD, published by Nintendo, and released on the Game Boy on June 6, 1993. Now, there are multiple versions of this game. The original, which was 1993, it was re-released as Link's Awakening DX for the Game Boy Color in 1998, and of course it got a Switch remake in 2019. Now, if you do have a Switch or a Switch 2 and you are subscribed to the Switch Online service, you can actually play the DX version of this game. It's not the version I'm going to be playing. I'm going to be playing the original 1993 version. And the reason for that, well, the DX version makes a few changes to the game. It adds a whole dungeon called the Color Dungeon. It also adds like picture taking capability, because the Game Boy Color had like a camera and you could take pictures and print them and stuff like that. And also there's like a side quest where you go around the world and take pictures. And then it changed a little bit of the dungeons, like not structurally, like they're the same, but some items are in different spots. And so I'm not really interested in the Color Dungeon. I'm not going to do the photo minigame side quest thing. And I'm more familiar with the original, like where everything is. And so I just decided to play the original version. And besides, it's the one I own physically. So I own the cart, and I will be playing it on the Retron 5, kind of like I did with Pokemon. So that's the reason I'm going to be playing the original 1993 version as opposed to the DX, which is, I guess, on the Game Boy, the definitive edition, if you will. So, you know, some of these Game Boy games, like you take Super Mario Land, for example. We played the trilogy on the channel before, and you notice that it's not the A-team that developed those games. It was kind of like I wouldn't call it a junior varsity or anything like that, but it was some people that maybe were given a chance to, you know, make their own game without actually making like a mainline series game. And so these guys were allowed a lot of freedom to experiment and do crazy and wacky things. Like Super Mario Land had a bunch of different enemies that you never see ever again in the series. Super Mario Land 2 had a bunch of weird like power-ups and level design, like you're inside like a whale's stomach or something like that. And then of course Super Mario Land 3 Wario Land is just completely out there. And so you would expect something kind of like that with Link's Awakening, because it's a Game Boy game, right? But honestly, this game was directed by Takashi Tezuka, who also directed the original Legend of Zelda on the NES and Link to the Past on the Super NES. So kind of unlike the Mario Land series, this game had something closer resembling an A-team developing it, which is really interesting. That decision by Nintendo to kind of like go all out on this game, and it's a phenomenal game. Not that Mario Land and, you know, those games are not good. I thought that Mario Land trilogy was very, very good, despite the fact that it wasn't developed by their A-team. But this game in particular is phenomenal, and it's because it was directed by the main guy who was the head of the series at the time. And despite the fact that legendary composer Koji Kondo was not in charge of the music for this game has a banger of a soundtrack. It is phenomenal. It's one of my favorite soundtracks in Zelda. And the game in general is just it's very good. It's got a very good overworld. It's very Metroidvania in the sense that there's a lot of very clear and obvious areas you can go, but you can't get to them until you have a certain item or a certain ability. It's very good in that sense. So for this game, I'm going to be trying to get all of the heart pieces. I don't think I've ever done that before. I've never gotten 100% heart pieces. There's an item, a collectible called Mysterious Seashells, which, if you remember my Minish Cap series, those were present in that game as well. They serve a different purpose in this game. If you collect enough seashells, you get a reward, but there are extra seashells, so like you don't need to collect all of them. So I think I'm gonna collect enough seashells to get the reward, but I'm not gonna collect 100%. It's not really necessary. So that's my plan with the seashells. So yes, 100% heart containers and heart pieces, but no on the seashells just because it's not necessary. Kind of like I did with the golden Skulltulas in Ocarina of Time. Like, there's a point where you collect enough of them, you get the big reward. Anything extra beyond that is just like extra. So unless you're going for 100%, but I'll show you how to get the reward. Beyond that, I'm not gonna go out of my way to get more seashells than I need. This game has a lot of Mario references, which is very, very weird. Some of them are very obvious, and some of them are a little more subtle. But I will point them out when we get to them. There's quite a few of them. Some of them are kind of creepy. At least they creeped me out when I was a kid. Maybe not anymore. But it's very interesting, and it's one of my favorite. You would be surprised and shocked to know how many Mario references there are in Zelda games in general. This is not the only game that has Mario references. Just as an example, A Link to the Past and Ocarina of Time both have Mario references. And in fact, Majora's Mask does as well. But anyway, when we get to the Mario references in this game, I will point them out. Some of them are very funny and stuff. But anyway, the last thing I want to discuss is the amazing thumbnail that I'll be rocking for this series. It was actually custom made by the very talented Mariana Lilly, who made the thumbnail for me. So I encourage you to check her out, check out her work. I was super pleased with how this turned out. It's one of the more iconic scenes, I think, ever in the Zelda series. I don't want to spoil if you've never seen the game, if you've never watched or played the game. We'll get to this point, but it is absolutely one of my favorite. And I'll be putting her links and her social links on the screen right now, her X, Twitch, and Discord, so that you guys can check her out, because she really is talented and does good work. And speaking back on this particular scene, like, this game has an air of mystery that other games don't. Like, to me, atmosphere-wise, this may be the best Zelda game ever. It's not necessarily the best in terms of dungeons, but I think the setting is just really, really good. Uncovering the mysteries of the world while you're here, and just the relationship that Link has with the other, with the NPCs and other characters, I think is very, very well done, and I'm very excited to play this game. I haven't played this game in a while. I did play the DX version when I first got my Switch. I think I got maybe halfway through the game, and then I stopped playing because I wanted to record it. So I think that's all I have for this introductory video. I hope you guys are excited for this. I'm very excited to play this again, and I hope we have fun together. Please let me know what you guys think. I would ask that you guys leave like a thumbs up on the videos to help promote the video. It's super easy, and all you have to do is leave a little thumbs up. Preferably, if you leave a comment, that would be even better. I would love to have Zelda discussions with you guys, as this is my favorite series of all time. I'm always up for some discussion on Zelda in general, or this game in specific. But anyway, I hope you enjoy this video, and I hope you enjoy and are looking forward to this series. I will see you in episode 1.